Arise.
Hello guys, and welcome back to a new video. Do you guys want to use the dead? Do you want to lead the hordes of the dead to war? Well then, no need to wait any longer. I have assembled my last build for this season, which is a Necromancer Minion Build. In this build, I'm going to show you guys how you can assemble everything together. Without further ado, enough talk, have at ya! So here we are again. Before we start, again, a little heads up for Ruse Cruise from Mobalytics, who gave me the base idea for this build. A little heads up for you guys. Just like in my last videos, this one is not meant to be the best build or the strongest or whatever. There's no number maxing in here. This is not the top peak pit pushing build. Not at all. This is another build to have some fun for the last month the season is running now. And to do something a little different, lean back, kick back, and let especially your golem do the work. Alright, so let's start with equipment. Since this build is now pretty much at the end of the season, I already assembled my mythics to support this build. So for this time I will have the Air of Perdition in here. I would have liked the Great Aspect to be on the critical strike chance, but it is what it is. We put some intelligence, some topaz in here. Have not maxed that out because I ran out of materials and I did not want to disassemble my other builds. So this one is not just my last build, it is not perfected yet. I will use maybe the next 1 or 2 weeks to finish this build. So let's move over to our armor. I have the hardened bones aspect in here. Here the greater aspect is on macabre skills. I think perfect or little better would be if it was on the golem skills, but that still isn't so far so good. Gloves, so far so good. I cannot really complain. Plus 236 on intelligence as a greater aspect, that's fine. And we have the Great Feast on it. Unfortunately, it has Skeleton Mage as tempering, and I already used the scroll there. I cannot fix it anymore. I would have liked it to be a golem damage as well, but it is what it is. Since we're using skeleton mages, I can cope with that. So let's come to our centerpiece here. Our summons get some extra chance on casting Decrepify and Iron Maiden, so macabre skills on enemies, which is pretty cool. It's on top we have a 32% increased critical strike damage on cursed enemies, and this basically will also be involved in our rotation. I'm coming back to that later. Boots! So we have Occult Dominion. The greater aspects here I don't really care too much. Corpse Explosion, that is really some messed up thing here, so I will replace them later because I don't want Corpse Explosion size, I want Corpse Tendril size. But so far so good, I cannot complain because I have a lot of movement speed here, and I don't know why, but Necromancer is super slow. Let's move on to our weapon. We have the Grandfather in here with a greater aspect on damage. That is alright. I don't even have a really preference here. Maybe we could go on all stats, but I'm fine with the damage here. For our jewels in here, we are using Nagu and Ja. It's pretty cool because now we can blink around and we have more offerings for our summons. Like, it's quite effective. I forgot to mention for our armor, we have Theo and Luck in here because as soon as we got injured or ground controlled, we get the challenging shout. It's quite cool to get out of there really quick. Amulet, we have the aspect of reanimation in here. Our great aspect is on intelligence. I would also have liked to have it on Hellbent Commander, but I didn't get that skill. That's alright. Ultimate cooldown and soul rift duration is perfect here. That's all I want to have. The Ring of Mendeln. This thing was a headache because it kind of worked and then it did not and then it worked again. So I would say it's alright now as far as it is, and as far as it goes, it can rank up tons of damage. Really like it. So Ring of Mendeln here, I was quite lucky, had it in my tempering on intelligence and masterworking, sorry. Masterworking on intelligence, that's quite alright, I like it like that. For our last ring, we have the Fell Gluttony. So far so good. Ultimate cooldown damage reduction is really amazing. Summon damage is alright. Would have preferred a golem damage, but this is alright. This is okay. As I said, this is not a min-maxing. I am totally content when I can finish pretty much all the content on tier 4 without any issues. Not about the pit pushing, because I really got bored of that in the last couple of seasons, so I don't do that anywhere. So since it's season 7, we have our witch jewels in here. We have the Moonlight Ward in our amulet, then we have the Pointed Finger, and we have the Heart of Anima. Alright, let's move on to witch powers. So as you can see, we have Piranhado, really like that thing. The Piranhado is just great. We have the Aura of Misfortune in here. We also have Grow for having more enlarged summons. It's quite cool as soon as we use our ultimate skill, which we will do a lot. So basically we have a huge army. And Twilight Warding for having a barrier. And Aura Specialization for larger auras. And I don't know if they patched this, but this now is super huge, which is great. And the Hex of Shattering, which gives us a little bit more resistance against damage. Our Book of the Dead. So as you guys can see, we have the Reaper Skeletons in here. With wind-up attacks, reduce one of your active cooldowns by 3 seconds. It's pretty amazing. You can cast your skills over and over again. Skeletal mages are on Shadow. Just for having the more Shadow mages we have, the more damage. It's really cool. And our Golem, which is our key part here. It's the Blood Golem with a lot of survivability over here. Let's move on to our skills. So before we start, let me get my head out of the way. So you guys can see clearly what I'm about to do here. So as a starter, we have a level 2 Reap. We have on the next one Unliving Energy 1 level. All 3 in Hued Flesh, and the rest is just supporting skills. 3 on Necrotic Fortitude, another 3 on Titan's Fall, and another 3 on Spiked Armor. We are using the Bone Prison with just 1 point in here, and we go all the way up to the Dreadful Bone Prison. And of course, for corpse skills, we have Grim Harvest and all 3 points in Fueled by Death, because we consume a lot of corpses and we will have a ton of increased damage here. Moving on, we have 3 points in Death's Embrace, another 3 in Death's Approach, especially in Death's Approach because, as I said, the Necromancer is super slow. Precision Decay and Amplify Damage are maxed out as well. Just 1 point in Decrepify, and we go all the way to Abhorrent Decrepify, because it reduces our cooldown by quite a lot. On the next spot, we have Coalesced Blood, and we have maxed it out. 2 points in our Corpse Tendrils, and we go all the way up to Blighted Corpse Tendrils, so we get a chance on Blood Orbs. Necrotic Carapace is our next one, maxed out, same with the Reaper's Pursuit, because we will have more movement speed and more damage for each darkness skill we will cast. So in our last section, we max out our ultimate, as I already mentioned in the videos before. Maxing out the ultimate gives you more bonus effects in this season, which is amazing. So we max it out all the way to the Prime Soul Rift. Finality is maxed out as well, so is Golem Mastery, and of course down here in our minion skills, Hellbent Commander, 1 point in Inspiring Leader, and another maxed out Bonded in Essence. So for all the way down here, we use Callan's Edict because more minion attack speed, more damage for each active minion. And this is it about the skill tree. Let's move on to Paragon. So on our Paragon board, before we start, we go to our glyphs. I have not maxed all of them out yet, so I'm still working on that. We are using Dead Razor, Golem, Control, Corporeal, and Essence. So how and where do we use that? Give me a second. So the first board has the control right over here. So when you're done with the starter board, we go up to Blood Begets Blood. We have our glyph over here, which is essence, and especially important, we get the Blood Begets Blood orb, of course, and so on and so forth. We could go all the way into blood damage because that is what our golem will do, and it will be fantastic. So we have just another board to the right. Here we have Cult Leader with Dead Razor. Dead Razor is oh yeah, on the bottom left is our glyph socket. We of course focus on more skeletal mage damage, and of course the Cult Leader legendary node here, same as we go into Infused Warrior to have more damage in our skeletons. So after Cult Leader we go back up towards Flesh Eater. Here we have the glyph socket up top, and we are using Corporeal in here to have more damage to elites, and basically just more damage and movement speed for our minions. Flesh Eater grants us more damage the more corpses with every 5 corpses we consume, and that is pretty straightforward. To our last one, the last one is Hulking Monstrosity with our golem. Golem is right over here. This one specializes in everything golem related, so we have the infused golem for just 100%, well, basically double the damage in a golem. We have frenzied golem here, more 100% damage. Same with borrowed strength with another 40% damage with a little bit of armor here. Don't forget to get the legendary node Hulking Monstrosity up. So let's go to our assigned skills. Of course, we use Raise Skeleton a lot. We pull enemies together with corpse tendrils, then we can lock them up with the bone prism, we can decrepify them, and then we can let our golem jump into them while we use the soul rift on, well, we just keep up the soul rift. Last but not least, we have our mercenaries. We have Rahir as a hired mercenary, and we have Variana as our support. For Rahir, this time we go to the right, all the way down, and then we use inspiration. Just for a little bit more damage. Last but not least, let's move to our mercenaries. We use Rahir as a hired and Variana as a reinforcement mercenary. For Rahir, we go all the way to the right, down towards inspiration for a little bit of extra damage here. Variana gets the Bloodthirst trait for combined with whenever we cast a skill, just so that we have a little bit more attack speed. It's pretty cool. I'm going to use that. So what there is to say, this is your army of undead with your golem as a centerpiece. I really enjoy playing this build. I hope you guys do as well. Or if you try it out, why not just leave a comment down below, or like and even subscribe for more videos coming your way. I mean, there's just 1 month to go, and then we will have a whole new season, and then we can try out even more builds. So for the next season, my intention is putting more videos out there for you guys. I really like, as you may have guessed, I really like doing these builds or playstyles that are not the top notch that most of the players are using here, because I must admit I'm getting a little bit sick of seeing the same stuff over and over again, but it's fine. Everybody does his, so as soon as everybody has their own fun, it's fine. Alright, so you guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys stay safe, stay healthy, and of course, see you next time. Ciao, ciao.
it.